Welcome to Twisted Monday. Had to happen eventually. In order to unlock Minion, we need to beat the game with all 15 characters. Well, 14 characters, then he's the 15th. But that includes Outlaw. Driven by Agent Stone. Originally the driver of Crimson Fury, but this is a different universe with a different Agent Stone. Voiced by the same guy who voiced Sweet Tooth. Let's start hearing that voice promptly.
"2 years I'd been locked away. Not a day went by I didn't pray to God. But I knew even He wouldn't forgive me for what I'd done. See, God only has time for those who deserve His mercy. I just didn't qualify. But then one day I had this visitor. I knew Calypso by reputation. You don't spend 10 years on the force without knowing every dirtbag in Midtown. Seems he wanted me in his contest. He said if I won, he'd ease my pain. My God, he knew. How could he have known? Calypso said if I won the game, I'd get a chance to undo the big mistake that was eating at my soul. Redemption. That's a big thing to offer a man without a hope in hell. How can I refuse?
So Outlaw starts off as one of the most mysterious characters. We don't really know what his deal is, but he's afraid of a bloody teddy bear. And he did a heinous crime. The only solution, of course, murder a bunch of people, including pedestrians in the Twisted Metal contest. It's obviously the only way to achieve retribution. And we need to try and use him the way we did Crazy 8. Because that's the best way to make the most out of a special. It's like a worse version of the fantastic Crazy 8 special. But it's on a much better vehicle. Outlaw can take one hell of a beating, so I think we're going to be in pretty good shape for most of this run. I am none too worried about the outcome today. Maybe I should be. Perhaps I will eat those words. I often do when I show any amount of confidence. Twisted Metal Small Brawl. What was I going to play next? It's been a long time since I played Twisted Metal Small Brawl. Obviously, there will be more of it coming back next month. But you know, it is a niche endeavor to talk about Small Brawl. Significantly more so than Twisted Metal Black. Legitimately cannot remember who I have lined up next in Small Brawl. Look at this, though. That was brutal. Apparently, I've never gotten a good use out of this special before, because it pretty much killed Sweet Tooth outright in a single usage. Let's, I guess, try and do that every single time. Let's get someone else pinned down. Maybe with a freeze shot? I did very little practice before this run. I had to make sure that I was able to play as Outlaw at all. And results were promising enough that I pretty much just decided to YOLO it on stream. Thank you very much. Glad you enjoy my weekly playthroughs. Can't believe I'm still doing this. But they are going well. Very surprised this caught on as a thing that anyone wants to see. And here we are. Pretty much my most popular videos. I should probably bring down the passenger jet. Those are always, useful. Opens up a bunch of goodies, might speed this up a little bit. And obviously this is part of our path to redemption. Shoot down an airliner. Only then will you be forgiven for your as of yet unspecified sins. And I'm glad that one of the biggest manslaughter proponents did get to see the manslaughter run. Not the last manslaughter run, there's more manslaughter to come. Because like I said, the goal is we unlock Minion again in the PS3 version. That necessitates beating the game with every single character. We're getting there. We're more than halfway there, in fact. Again, trying to do the math on when that will actually happen, but apparently my brain is fried. Can't think of anything right now. Just as well. Who's asking me to plan things during a Twisted Metal playthrough? This is not a game that you can afford to lose your focus on. No cerebral strategizing, thoughts of the future. There is no future. It's Twisted Metal Black. Enjoy your grim, dark reality while it lasts. And if you fail to do so, it won't last much longer. I would also say that this Outlaw is my favorite in the entire series. It is very fast, extremely high armor. The special is silly. Look at him pop out of the top of the car. How is he driving while doing that? Baffling. But very, very powerful if you get a good line of sight. Significantly worse than the Crazy 8 one that I like so much. But still, worse than one of the best specials in the game is still solid as hell. It is true that the special is useless if you do not get a line of sight. Haha, take that, Grim. But when you do have a line of sight, you just keep that red laser pointed at your target, and that target is dead. That was a very, very fast accomplishment there. Onto the freeway. As I said, I pretty much expect Outlaw to crush the entirety of this playthrough. Really, this is this game's Warthog, as was the intent. And Warthog is, in most games, wildly overpowered. That's the reason why we have a military-style special, vaguely military-themed vehicle. Obviously reskinned as a SWAT car, but it was originally an Army APC. So yeah, this being the least Outlaw-esque Outlaw in the entire series is probably why I like it more than most other Outlaws. There are plenty of instances where Outlaw in previous games is very, very strong. It's never really a weak choice. It's just one where I don't like the flavor and the style of gameplay that it offers to players. There she goes. We can also just basically stand still and charge our reticles for as long as we feel like. Do all sorts of horrible, devastating things to the lower armor vehicles. I wonder if this has a 10 out of 10 bonus when you land 10 consecutive shots. I imagine it would, but I don't think I'm going to get the chance to check it now. Oh, 10 out of 10 bonus. I don't know if it actually did anything, but it said there was a 10 out of 10 bonus. Interesting. Like I said, very little testing with this character. No foreknowledge. This is one of my least played characters in the entire game. All I know is he's strong as hell. Okay, we got... pretty much everyone else is at green. Maybe Manslaughter here could die soon. Manslaughter can never die soon. I think we are getting them caught in each other's crossfire here. Because even though we're big and high armor, we are abnormally maneuverable for such a vehicle. This is coming off a Brimstone. Could not be a greater swerve in power. Feels good. I'm unstoppable. Who's left? Who's trying to stop me? Probably near full inventory again. I like that we do all of our driving when we have the special selected from the turret. Just the foot controls that manage this vehicle. Yeah. If this is manual transmission, then Agent Stone is controlling the gears with his toes, probably. Steering with his feet. And doing a damn fine job of it, I'll have to say. Okay, I didn't use all the recharges. This vehicle is unstoppable. Apparently this is a really good beginner vehicle. It makes a certain amount of sense. I selected this vehicle to do the prison passage during the Let's Play. Because the prison passage is very, very difficult, and I knew that going in. I intentionally chose one of the strongest vehicles I possibly could for that purpose. All that's left is Crazy 8, who is completely harmless. Of all the vehicles in this game, Crazy 8 is the one you have to worry about the least. No armor. Can't use his special properly. Helpless. And he canceled my special immediately. He got me with his special, wow! Bravo, Crazy 8. I'm honestly proud of you. Now get out of here. Never show your face again until this next level. Again, doesn't matter what I do. I hate to do freeway into highway loop, though. Too samey to do back-to-back. So we'll switch it up a little bit. Aesthetically. Yep, willing to murder others just to win. This is one of the characters they try to paint as a good guy. And then when you're the player, you just drive around a city running over civilians for no reason. Crashing cars off the road. Bam. AI Outlaw is always like doing horrific things just to get to you. It's a hyper-aggressive enemy. Take that, businessman. That'll teach you to cross the street. That's not a marked crosswalk. Doesn't have the zebra stripes. I'm that kind of cop that I kill people for jaywalking and stuff. Okay, manslaughter, you gotta go first. Sick dodge of the ghost missile. Manslaughter's running for his life, which is kind of funny. Being surprisingly successful on his way out here. He's got Mr. Grimm for backup. There he goes. Goomba stopped him. Now I can die happy. Weird. But ultimately fine. Well, I know what would make Outlaw here into even more of a hero. Is knocking down some buildings. There we go. We'll reap the rewards a little later. Now I gotta try and sneak away from this opponent. He's right on my tail. I failed to sneak away. They swerved around a corner and cut me off at the pass. That's fine though, it dropped me off right next to the collapsed buildings. I didn't see him fall down, so maybe they were already collapsed. You can't prove otherwise, there's no video evidence. And that's what a full retinue of power missiles can do. Kill Junkyard Dog outright. Yeah, I'm really just messing around here. This is an overpowered vehicle. Going on a little power trip. Quite unlike my normal Twisted Metal Black experience. That said, I could still game over here. It's not over till it's over. Where are you going? Yeah, we do kill enemies extraordinarily fast. Much faster than I normally kill anyone with any of the other vehicles. Twisted Metal Insurance Company, yeah. People in this universe must have incredibly high premiums. And certainly the people in the contest. Maybe that's why Crimson Fury isn't in this year's contest. Because I've heard it costs red vehicles more to get insured. The driver simply couldn't afford it. Priced out of winning Twisted Metal. While I'm near the recharge, I'll head back this way. Yeah, maybe I should switch it up to hard, at least with easy characters like Outlaw. I'll just tank a bunch of specials. Because what do I care? I have basically unlimited HP with this character. Oh, I've only used one recharge so far. This is ridiculous. Mr. Grimm does have an easy time outrunning our missiles. To balance our special a little bit. And he can rear fire his special. Surprisingly accurate. Imagine the arm movement you would have to do to fling a scythe over your shoulder like that. Mr. Grimm is quite the magician. Especially because he's still alive. He should not be. That's a magic act right there. There. Problem solved. Might have got like one missile there into Darkside. And there she goes. All that's left is a tiny little bit of Sweet Tooth. Finished him with a machine gun. Poor guy. So here's a bit of an equalizer. Bringing that shield down could be a moderate obstacle. How confident is Agent Stone? 100% confident. Not afraid in the least. I'll see if I can justify that confidence. Probably not, though. I haven't game over to Minion in a decent while. My lock-on has decided not to work, which is worrisome. One panel down, at the cost of all of my HP. It's easier to get health refills because our hitbox is larger. Wish that weren't the case. But it does make sense. It would be very awkward were we able to grab things from great distances as a smaller vehicle. Let's see. Wonder why he's only showing me the side that already has a broken panel. I think I could have rear fired in such a way that it would have hit one of the panels. Missed a bunch of opportunities for good shots. Oh, he's got the shield down. Don't know how I hit the back panel, but apparently I did at some point. And here we are. My method is so chaotic. It's completely random whether or not it works, but the odds are in my favor for some reason. I guess because Minion, like, spins in place all the time. So he basically exposes all of his panels at random intervals. So if you're just standing right next to him and hammering the attack button, you're gonna hit the occasional panel. And eventually you'll hit all of them. Didn't use my shield, didn't care at all. Now, let's watch Outlaw's very, very important middle cutscene here. Incredibly important. I'm gonna talk about this a lot afterwards.
As I drifted away, the torment began again. The same torment I'd endured 1,000 nights and days before. I began to remember. It happened a couple of years back. We were out across from the Northside Apartments. There'd been reports of terrorist activity in the building. When we got there, we found some kind of doomsday cult had set up shop inside. We were sent there to take them out. These guys were real psychos, desperate as hell, holed up like rats in a cage. But now their little hideaway was a kill zone, and I had them right in my sights. I'd dealt with a lot of dirtbags before, but for some reason, this was different.
All units open fire! Open fire! Shoot to kill!
All these years trying to make a difference, and for what? So that we could arrest these scum suckers and watch them walk free the same afternoon? My rage got the better of me. I couldn't focus. I wanted to send these killers to hell where they belonged. I got them. But not before I made the biggest mistake of my life. I'd let my emotions cloud my judgment. It cost me, but it cost someone else even more. Oh my God, what had I done? Those people were dead, and it was all my fault. There was only one way out. But that way was closed. I was going to have to live with it for the rest of my life, and nothing I could do would ever take away the pain. Until now.
So yeah, Agent Stone slaughtered a family. Quote-unquote accidentally. With his sniper machine gun. Then made a very silly face when he wasn't able to kill himself. Like, that would be a very goofy reaction image if it weren't for the suicide aspect, which is a little hard to ignore. And that was a massively censored version of the cutscene. Or at least massively changed. I don't know why they changed it so much from the original idea into the finished game. But I wish they hadn't. I like the original idea much better. Because, like those newspaper clippings, for one thing, that's a cheesy effect. Doesn't really work with this game. Getting roadkill in here was nightmarishly bad luck. But this is where I needed to be more difficult, so here we are. There we go, perfect. But yeah, the newspaper clippings are like, war on crime, old lost cause. Super fund the police today. And obviously, our hero agrees and decided that due process is bullshit and needs to kill all the criminals himself. They all have to die. Very Death Wish. And all sorts of hero cop nonsense. But the original ending, the original middle cutscene, rather, was made completely. It has significantly different dialogue, different graphics, none of that newspaper clipping, cheesy garbage. It was originally that Agent Stone specifically said that these are white supremacists. These are, I believe he said, racist skinheads, are his exact words. And that's why he had the lapse in judgment, as to go berserk and just slaughter everybody. And specifically, it's because his family had been murdered by that very same white supremacist gang. And there's a whole animation of them burning his house down, and him just barely escaping, with the rest of his family not being so lucky. And then for some reason they changed it to terrible generic garbage. I really don't get it. It was so much better. Thanks for stopping by, Connor Rose. You got the important part, which was seeing that bastardized version of the ending. But like, the offensive part of the ending and the disturbing part is the slaughtered family and the attempted suicide. And they kept those in. Those are just fine, according to the game censors. Second time in this game series that the villains were not permitted to be racist. Which is getting a bit weird, quite honestly. The first game, the villains were also Apocalypse 9, and they were supposed to be racist skinheads. But David Jaffe, once again, was not permitted to go that route and had to have massive changes to the cutscenes. I think it's a great idea. Would have massively increased my investment in the story. It makes Agent Stone a much better character. Technically, it's more like complicated of a backstory to have him have gone berserk simply out of like generic cop rage. Like, he's a much, much worse person in the changed version of the story. Significantly less like understandable. You can't really relate to him at all. He's actually like a bad guy. And that is more on theme with the rest of Twisted Metal Black. Most of the characters we play as are very bad. So it may have been intentional in that way. Can't rule that out. Finally got rid of that guy. This has been a much more dangerous run than any of the previous. I might not make it through. Place your bets, folks. There we go. Still alive. Haven't used a single recharge yet. I need to use a recharge promptly. After I get a health refill so that I can be relatively assured I can make it all the way there. Twisted Metal style Hot Wheels, yeah, those will probably sell pretty well. I imagine Twisted Metal merch is going to be pushed pretty hard in the near future because of the TV show. We may even get little vehicles, toy cars. That would be pretty cool in my book. I'm sure there were at some point. With how popular this series was. Like before the big Banjo-Kazooie revival. After Banjo-Kazooie got into Smash. Banjo and Kazooie did have quite a bit of 90s merch. And they weren't anywhere near as popular as Twisted Metal was. That vintage merch was worth a fortune. I was still tempted to buy it because I used to be a gigantic Banjo-Kazooie fan. I still like Banjo and Kazooie quite a bit as entities and stars of relatively good video games. I still think the first Banjo-Kazooie holds up really well. I will stick by that. I've actually used both of my recharges. Remaining enemies. Not to be underestimated. And I was able to blimp attack myself. I think I got someone else in the mix, though. Okay, I opened up the bridge a long time ago. I need to get onto the bridge and steal the health refills from there. Kill that prison guard. Because we just kill everybody. We are Outlaw. We don't care. We are an outlaw, driving outlaw. After our family murder and breaking out of prison. One assumes that all the characters are not voluntarily in the mental asylum. Seems to be the case. Because it's like a maximum security mental asylum. Where they send the likes of Sweet Tooth and whatnot. Yeah, if you got more Twisted Metal trivia in chat, I will take it. / personal anecdotes. Never enough of those out there. I mean, that's what these streams are, is just developing new personal anecdotes about Twisted Metal. So as to keep these repeated playthroughs relatively fresh. Health refills are back. They seem to be respawning pretty frequently. Which is good, because I need them bad. That or I am taking much longer than I realize on this level. Ready to go. He got me. He tagged me with his little follower. Almost down to a one-on-one at least. I have seen Roadkill specifically do some wild moves. Like spear tackling people. So I imagine it would be possible for him to just push you right off the edge of a building. Which is what happened to someone in chat. Spy Redrum suffered exactly that fate. It's improbable given your larger weight. This game does have a pretty solid physics system that takes that into account. When Mr. Grimm is the final enemy left, he's going to go berserk. Become much more dangerous. But it needs to be done. What I can try and do is charge up a reticle. Like get really, really far away. And then hope that Mr. Grimm appears right as the reticle is fully charged. Blow his ass up. Okay. Is he coming this way, though? Yeah, he is. Got a prize for you. It exploded on the ground. Naturally. I guess because he never crested the hill. It just went right into a wall. So we're going to get to hear quite a bit of the One Enemy Left music. While I try to stay alive for long enough to kill Grimm. Kinda funny, running for my life from a tiny little AI opponent. But we'll know that I will regret it if I try to do otherwise, so I won't. I'm gonna load up. I used to say pretty frequently that one of the things that Twisted Metal was most obviously missing, something that should have been there and isn't, is a playable fire truck. Because fire trucks are gigantic and extremely powerful. They've had a monster truck, fire truck is the next most logical step. And they never have. And every time I said that, someone would come in and say, what about Minion and Twisted Metal Black? And to this day, I say that is absolutely not a fire truck. There we go. One shield, Mr. Grimm's down. We won! Pulled that one out from a very weak start. Pretty decent. How confident am I in carrying on through the hard track? Drive-in movie in the main playthrough. That's how confident I am. We do indeed have to keep moving in order to survive. Let's see how I fare. If we can get roadkill out of here, that would be a boon. Roadkill's a nightmare. In this level and every level. I've got some environmental attacks, those will help me out. I never used them in the last level because the blimp attack is terrible. I did manage to hit myself with it. That's like the only time I've hit something with a blimp attack in a long time. I was able to set one up in the Let's Play, where I landed some blimp attacks, but never since. So this is chaotic so far. More chaotic than I expected, quite honestly. But we are coming in with a full set of ammo. Might have another enemy down soon. I saw a blue square. It either got picked up or it was being dangled from a helicopter. I'm gonna guess the helicopter. Whichever it was, it's gone now. And so am I. Let's see. How this goes. I took down the big threat, the big scary monster. That is roadkill. Thought I saw a pop-up that someone else had died, but not the case. There goes one. I think someone just blew up the movie screen. Not big appreciators of cinema here in the Twisted Metal universe. Okay, they did not, but they tried. I definitely saw a satellite reticle around the theater. Okay, lock on. I now understand what Kana Rose was talking about. Lock on with the machine gun is terrible. It picks the nearest enemy, even if they're not in front of you. And they need to be in front of you in order for you to fire the missiles. Or else the laser doesn't appear. I hate that bridge. I wish the bridge never broke. But the bridge always breaks. It is a lot easier to get the health refill, I'll say. Because our hitbox is much larger. Here we go. Did not get Sweet Tooth with the power missile, but that was a long shot. And I think I got Crazy 8, but he did not explode. He just took an extra hit. Take what damage I can get. Just not very much. Keep on rolling with another freaking reticle. He just died. Mr. Grimm is here. I didn't remember seeing him previously. But he's here and he's dangerous. Everyone is dangerous. Oh, I didn't get the health refill. I guess it despawned right before I touched it. I definitely didn't hit it clean, so by the time I swerved back to get it, it was too late. There's one I can get. Arr, never mind. Going down. Another 2 down. We got a very low armor Brimstone, and then an almost untouched Sweet Tooth to deal with. We're gonna have to see who's stronger, Sweet Tooth or Outlaw. So that's what it's coming down to. Turns out it's Outlaw. Got it in 1. No game overs still. Not half bad. As we move on to the final full level. This character is very strong. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but having a pretty easy time. Drive-in theater is never easy, though. Just doesn't get much easier than that, we'll say. Okay, I need to back off because there's too many enemies on the roof. Or is there? I'm still in the green. There's a recharge up here. If need be, I'll go for that. Okay, apparently I'm not allowed to stay on the roof. So saith Sweet Tooth. I don't think I've ever explored the far corners of this area. I don't think I even knew there were pickups out here. I don't have the speed to get over this broken bridge. I have to take this route. I'll let that pass. And everyone left me in peace. How nice of them. Could use some more weapons. And some fewer opponents. Look at this ricochet launcher. I hadn't even spotted that before. This vehicle has a whole apparatus specifically for one weapon. Neat. Reticle. I think we can launch this. Oh, that's such bullshit. A human could never do that. Hide behind the fuselage right at the last second like that. That was ridiculous. Read my inputs, Crazy 8. We are on medium difficulty. The enemies are hyper aggressive. I don't normally see them this brutal. But they're playing pretty well. They have to. Maybe they, like, scale the enemy, like, AI so that it's better when you're in a better vehicle. I highly doubt it, but maybe. I've said many, many times that this is the best balanced of any Twisted Metal game. And I very much stick by that, because it is a true fact. But this character is markedly stronger than a lot of the other ones. There are definitely tiers, even as balanced as the game is. And this is without a question top tier. Excluding, of course, Minion, who would get a tier all his own. We do have to use Turbo very frequently. Oh god. I almost used Turbo a little too frequently there. I did not mean to activate Turbo, because I was facing towards a cliff. There we go. I'll just excuse myself for a little while. Resource-wise, we're doing mediocre so far. There should definitely be at least one more kill. But I have pulled it out for more situations. I think we'll be fine. I assume our special will be extremely good at fighting the final boss. But I certainly didn't test that. Speaking of our special, it claims another victim. And another one. But I am approaching death. There's a weird variance in Brimstone's special, like how much damage it does. I don't know if that's just random, or if it has to do with, like, how far away Brimstone is from the explosion when the little minion blows up. Maybe there's rules to that I never realized, and that's why I had such a hard time with Brimstone. Considering how complex so many of the specials in this game are, I wouldn't be surprised. It'd be all sorts of arcane mechanics. At this point, we've achieved parity with the opponents. We have 2 lives and they have 2 enemies, so numerically, we should have this under control. But my 1 remaining life is pretty fragile. And finding a good arena in which to fight can be a challenge here. I think I'm up to that challenge. I am kind of surprised how long this playthrough has taken. Considering that nothing has really put up much of a fight, it's still taken about an hour so far. And we're close to done, but not, like, on the verge of done. This is probably going to end up being longer than, like, the Sweet Tooth run and the Yellow Jacket run. Both of which are also, I would say, top tier. Once again, down to just me and Grim. Not much of a chance of Grim taking me out here. Maybe once, but not twice. Yep, not even once. Mr. Grim, not even once. And off we go to the final boss.
Your environment violation of Midtown City Code 4432. Step out of your vehicle and surrender peacefully. Time's up.
If I'm not much mistaken, Outlaw is familiar with the driver Warthog. A fellow officer. Let's murder him. We have stuff to do. Out of the way, cop. Run over that cop for no reason. And we do get to bring a bunch of weapons with us. I guess like every level allows you to bring your inventory from the preceding level. I just never really noticed it before because I typically die several times over the course of completing each and every level. Where is this tanker? How is a gas tanker hiding from me? Clean shot on the shield. Cost me 1 health pickup worth of HP. HP. Blech. It's probably pretty easy to gauge how tired I am, based on how much I slur my words. Ah well. We're almost through it. The main playthrough, that is. There will be bonus content. There's always bonus content. Yeah, stay right. Ugh. Tanker. Get back in position. There. Now let's use our special. Yeah, it is brutal. Look at that. We can, like, damage race Warthog down. This regular vehicle is almost as strong as the final boss of the game. I thought I had a shield ready. I guess I'm a little light on the energy. But even still, poor Warthog doesn't stand a chance. Almost did it deathless. And no satellite pickups until just now. Once he perches, at about, nope, another strafe. He'll perch eventually. Just give me more time to regenerate another special. You're gonna regret that. There he goes. Super easy. Run over.
I had won the contest. Now it was time to see if the rumors were true. Did Calypso really have the power to give me a second chance? He asked if I really wanted a second chance, if I understood the risks. But I wasn't going to screw up twice. This time, it was all going to work out. I demanded my prize. And just like that, I was back. I knew what to do this time. I had to contain my anger. I had to focus. That little girl was going to be safe. It was my sworn duty, both to her and to myself.
He's drawing a weapon. All units open fire. Open fire. Shoot to kill.
I made sure every single bullet found the right target this time. That dirtbag went down like a puppet with his strings cut.
Terrorist is down. Terrorist is down. Great shooting, Agent. Second team, move it.
But it wasn't over. Not until I knew those people were safe. They were shaken but alive. Calypso had done it. I never thought it could be
All
like...
units, target is not down. Target is still hot.
I was so close to making it right.
Agent Stone, report in. Are you hit?
And there's our cheesy, unsatisfying ending that makes no sense. That's your punishment for playing as the maybe easiest character in the game. Is you then have to watch a bad ending of the game. That makes no sense. Like, travel through time and get sniped by someone with a pistol who is already dead after 1,000 shots from the machine gun sniper rifle. Thing is, I never pointed it out before, but if you pay attention to the guy who kills Agent Stone, that is Calypso. It's got Calypso's corrupted eyeball. So either Calypso traveled back in time himself and put himself in the place of the racist skinhead guy, or he was a member of the racist skinhead gang back then, and maybe that was his canonical death, and then he resurrected and became magical or something. And the whole reason he recruited Agent Stone into Twisted Metal was to get revenge of his own? With, like, ironic punishment? I don't know. Make of that what you will. Super weird that they censored out the good version of this story. But, you've seen all there is to see about it. Draw your own conclusions. If nothing else, the gameplay was very, very fun. I do wish Outlaw had turned into creeping rusty meat like it did in one of the earlier playthroughs, but we can't have everything. What we can have is me playing 3 more levels after this, but that will be archived over on Twitch. For now, our job here is done. I am Fiendly, and I thank you for watching Twisted Monday.